Hi, I'm Charlotta.
And I'm Vicky, and welcome to the School of Pattern Cutting.
Today we're going to look at how you can use an image you found online, or ours is from an old magazine from the 40s, and how you can use that image to change your darts into volume.
So what we're going to look at today is how you can draft this pattern and how you can create the volume. So these brush lines here represent pleats, so how you can get extra fabric into those darts.
So first of all, we're going to analyze this image in depth, and then we're going to draft it with you.
Okay, so today we're going to start with this image. This is an original from Charlotta's collection.
It's from a 1940s pattern cutting magazine. So we've uploaded it onto our Pinterest darts folder still. It's sort of quite interesting because it's drawn, so in a way it's harder to interpret. And that's, I think, it's quite a good challenge because this contemporary catwalk fashion, you can get lots of views and close-ups on Pinterest or Vogue.
Because if this is a real garment, we'd expect to see a side seam here, wouldn't we? Or something going on around the side.
And also you wonder what lots of material it is, because like on the vase is a circle skirt, there isn't that much detail. Could be, like, I would imagine it's like a maybe wool or cotton.
Yeah. Depends what season it is, doesn't it?
It's tricky to tell. So what we quite like is how the darts transformed into gathers on here. So this would be your bust dart and your shaping dart, and you got gathers, and then we've actually put a fake dart in because it doesn't actually serve any purpose, it's just purely aesthetic, and we've created some more gathers there. So it's got
so we're gonna look at, so it's got this sort of fake dart here, doesn't it?
And then it has got the real shaping is all happening in the bottom darts. And they're probably a bit further. Because if you look at that,
so
bust
it's
point,
like
isn't it?
This, isn't it? So it's going to look like this. So we can, I think, so because the bust point's sort of in between here, isn't it? Sort of about here. So
and the sort of gathering is halfway. So I would imagine the cut line actually is of course past the bust dart a bit.
Okay.
So I would sort of think the bust dart might be here.
Okay.
Because otherwise it would look a bit odd if your bust was there. It would be very flattering.
I think again this is the way you do it. Make a toile in some probably quite light fabric and then see how it looks.
Yes, the other way would be as well that you actually use your Showbund tape and you actually tape on your lines, for example.
Onto your mannequin.
Just to see where they would look, because you have to be really careful that they don't look unflattering with stuff like that.
You don't want to chop yourself up too much.
Yes, so you don't want the side gather either, or have it right on your bust dart. Okay, let's get started.
Okay. So, as usual, we trace around this. So you should all have a basic body block. So you always use the same one to do these exercises with.
Also, if you either can download ours, which fits basic KNL 12 mannequin, or adapt your own so you know it always fits you.
Yeah.
And then of course, as you're moving, this is quite a tight garment, but if you are moving away to bigger clothing, you might create your own coat.
Yeah, and this is block. And one thing we've never talked about, this is women's wear. For men's wear, you use a different block.
Yes.
They're different shapes. So that's your basic.
Yes, so first of all, we're gonna draw in the bottom design line because that's where all the shaping is gonna happen.
Maybe I did that in the orange, so you can see it.
So I think it's probably from here to there.
Okay, so like that.
Yeah. And it's quite a nice angle. Yeah, that's probably the right angle, isn't it? And what we might do right now is that we draw in the second line because we want them to be parallel.
Okay.
So but it's up here, so you just need to measure. I think if you do maybe something like that. So if you measure maybe from here to here and then do the same distance there.
So we think it cuts through, say
14 centimetres.
14 centimetres, and then again using the 90 degrees.
And then draw. And then they look like they're the same length, but of course so you might use the same distance from here as well. So if you start again with a 90 degree.
Oh, okay, yeah.
From there, so that's 6 centimetres. And
but that might look a bit funny in the middle, mightn't it?
Yeah.
So, I think that might be too.
We try it out. So because it still be 12 centimeters in the middle, so it might be right. And that sort of put the bust point right in the center.
Okay.
So what we're going to do then is we need to cut along that design line.
Just cut. Should I cut?
No.
Cut that out really badly.
Doesn't it? Just make sure you do it better at home.
So we're adding volume. So instead of closing things, we have to close darts and then we have to spread fabric.
Yes.
Spread paper.
So what we're going to do is we're going to close this down here because we want to get rid of that line, and you could either cut it open or this, because I'm just going to fold it. Because it's the same thing. Okay. So now we've got. This would be a tiny bit of volume, so you want to make that volume bigger. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut open this dart and move it all into that bottom. And you need to cut it open here as well.
And this is all going to come down onto that bottom line, isn't
Yeah.
it? But leaving. I'm going to leave that there,
Yeah.
are we? Or shall I?
Now, what you're going to do is you're going to close it like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And now we've got more volume together.
The reason why I use this Scotch tape is so you can draw over it afterwards, because you can't draw over sellotape.
So now what we need to do is, can you see it's got like a wonky line there? So what we do is we even it out, and at the same time that will create a bit of space.
So you've got to draw a straight line.
Yeah, if you want to do it orange or blue.
Like that?
Yeah.
Is that too much, or is that?
No, that's fine. Because what we also want to do is create a bit of space to gather into. So we cut it along this line again, so you can see.
I think people might think it's quite pedantic to do these tiny little things, but unless you do this, things just don't look quite right, do
No.
they, when you finish? So
now what you now have got is this much extra volume. So what you're going to do is put some paper underneath.
So now we're adding volume. We're not taking away as we've done before and changing darts around and
So instead of seams, we've got gathers now. So if you put this So, and if you redraw that lines, it's slightly curved.
So making it a slight, because we don't want to chop off too much, do
No.
we? No.
Yeah, because if you chop it too much, you're making your space shorter, so you're leaving less space for your bust.
Like that?
Yeah.
I should cut that in. Yeah. And this is why you need lots of paper as well, because you know.
Or if you were just experimenting, work on half scale.
Yeah.
Which is a bit more economic. So you can now see that we've got it's like a dart shape, but one is much shorter than the other. So what we're going to do is measure it, both of them. So that's 17 centimeters. We write that underneath, and then the top is on the side curve.
I'm swapping up in the ruler. What should we say? 20.
Yeah, always double check that by moving it around as well.
Okay, maybe slight.
Yeah, I think
20 and a half.
20.5. So we've got a difference of 3.5, and that's basically a gather. And I think they're gathering it roughly this wide, so it's sort of
So it's 3.5 centimetres there.
yes. So what you would do is that you say on your pattern, you mark, you want to gather this into here. It's the same distance, but here
So you're going to lose.
yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to join these two together and mark it as a notch. So if you're doing it again.
Cool. Yeah.
And that way you know this, you can, there's a nice symbol. This gets gathered into that.
So you understand that volume, so when you start sewing it, you don't end up with gather over here.
No.
You know you've got to match that and that when you pin it together.
And it's this is quite tricky one to sew because when you're adding your seam allowance, you do it as well.
Oh, you have to add seam allowance in here as well. So.
Yes, so if you glue it down, because it will become smaller and smaller.
Because you can't add a centimetre seam allowance in that middle point, can you?
It just doesn't work. So what we might have to actually say, this might be impossible, but we try. So what you would do is you start this 1 centimetre. Yeah, as long as you can go basically.
I'm just using that inner line on this.
Yeah,
so
just moving it around slowly. So you can use your pattern master as well.
Yeah, if you don't have one of these. So I can't really go much further.
You can go, if you go a bit further, so just so we know where it's gonna hit. So yeah, and then do the same at the bottom. Should be a straight line.
So we only get that far in, don't we?
And then if we, from that point where they meet, what you do is you draw a line which goes all the way to there. So I think when looking at it, I think we need to make the gather slightly
in a bit.
Yes, because here it's going to be impossible. I think you should want 0.5 centimetre is possible. So that's if you move it to here. We could green. So we move it back. And that's the thing is, but for another cutting a paper, you can actually change things as you move along. Yeah.
And then you'd have to move it all up, wouldn't you? So you'd have to move all your notches up.
Yes, I think this, you could either say it's a shorter gather, but we don't want that. So yeah, we need to move both of them.
Okay. So again, that's something to think about when you do these things. Like if you change one thing, you sometimes have to change other things as well. So you just have to make sure. You just have to start thinking about the look you're after.
Yeah. Also, you might now try it and then think, oh, actually, it's too far to the side. In which case, you might need that maybe a bit longer.
Okay. So how are we going to do this one?
Yes. So this one is completely aesthetic. So we're not getting rid of any patterns, any of the patterns. We're not getting rid of the darts. So what we're literally going to do is we're going to draw a line. And we're going to make it a bit easier by drawing it closer to the edge, so it's opened closer.
Is it parallel to this line?
It doesn't really matter.
Okay, like that?
Yeah. And then we're going to cut along here and then cut into there, so you can open up the pattern.
Get rid of our seam marks. So this is where it's called sort of slash and spread, isn't it? Yeah. Where you cut and then you spread them. We're going to keep it attached to the top, aren't we?
And we're not going to open it that much. Depending on how much you open it, you might do 2 lines. So we're going to do quite a gentle gather. But if you want a lot of gather, you would slash it a few times.
And then you go like this.
Yes, so you need to cut. If you cut it into that line again from the top.
Oh yeah.
So you have it attached at the seam line. Yes, so what we're going to do now is, so if you look at that, that's quite tricky because it's really tight there. So what we might do is instead of 1, we do a few, so you can open them all up a bit.
Okay. So should we try putting another one in?
Yes, I mean, yeah.
And it will have to be parallel to that, won't it? Yeah. This is where the affirmation will. So shall we try?
Yeah,
Looks cute. Yeah. But this is one of the things where. Do you want them all the same distance?
Yeah, just do one in between. Let's do quite a few to get a really gentle curve. And we only want 3 centimeters extra volume as well, so to echo 3.5 centimeters to echo the bottom one.
Okay. So this just gives you, instead of like everything in one big hit, it gives you lots of little goes at it.
Because if you have one thing, it gives you a big angle, so it's one bit of volume, but by spreading it out, it curves sort of thing.
So for something that should be quite simple, there's lots of different ways of doing it.
But of course, it's sort of this is like your experimental stage, where you try things out, and then once you've done your first trial and you like it, you actually trace that pattern onto a new, so you get a really nice clean copy to work from.
Yeah. So you don't have to like have all these little bits of
Yes,
sellotape.
and also if you give it to somebody else as well, they're gonna say which one is correct.
Sorry, I cut that end off by mistake.
So if you lay it over the paper, and then I can spread it out just a little bit.
So we only need to make 3.5 centimetres, don't we?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, but the gaps need to come to 3.5 centimetres. So if they're all about slightly over a centimetre.
Well, I think what we still need to do is, because it's still too close, I think we need to create one bit of volume, maybe going into the neck.
Okay.
Because that will open up differently.
So this is just hitting the seam.
Yes, too much to.
Okay. So we want to create a volume going this way.
Yes.
So drawn from. So we're taking, instead of doing the volume up here, we're just
creating one more. Just so it's a different angle. You might actually. I think we should do it from the edge.
Okay.
So we can.
That's okay.
Because that's where we want to open it a bit.
Oh yeah.
And the reason we're doing it into the neck rather than the centre front is because the centre front is on fold. So we don't want to cut that.
Do I need to cut up this dart?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you had the centre front with a seam, you could do it. You could do it differently.
And what you do, so want to avoid the centre front being curved as much as possible, because if you have any fabric with a pattern,
oh yeah.
if you have
or
a check or something or stripe, it'll start looking slightly psychedelic. Okay, so if we now open it up, hopefully, can you see? Sometimes that's when you have to sort of try out things a bit.
So you've made a gap here.
I don't want it too big. And in a way, what you could do with this, for example, if you find it tricky to sew, you can do the same, but you move it somewhere else to create a bit of. So I think if you just move a little bit, like so you get 0.5 centimetre there, roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's measure the distance quickly. So that's 0.5, and then do another 0.5.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're adding 3.5 centimetres in,
like this 1 centimetre,
bit by bit. Yeah.
So and then this one. There we go. Do one at the bottom. Yeah. So you can now see if you redraw the 2 lines.
So
just an orange. So the bottom one is straight again, which is going to give you a nice straight line. And then top we're gonna curve from here like this.
Like from the dust from the back.
Yes, I would start maybe straight a little bit just to make it even bigger. Like this. And then use the curve. It's nearly straight.
Yeah. But so curves do tend to look a little bit better when you're sewing, don't they?
Yeah. And then if we measure the distance from here to here, because we want the gathers to be the same. So that's 4 centimetres away. To mark it here. And then top. So that's where your gather starts. And
we did 3.5.
No, we need to measure this distance, which is 5.5. And then again, you just check. You match these 2 up. And that gives you the other.
So you force it all together.
Yes, make a mess, and then by the time you do the part, but it's a faster way you can measure it. But this is just guarantees you it's going to match up. Not cool. Okay, So when again you add the seam allowance,
Yeah.
and when you're ready for your 12 year center folds, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I'd be really careful to make sure that I got all my notches on, all of my, I just double check that I've got everything on here, and I'd add my seam allowances on everything just before I started chopping it up.
And what's quite interesting with the image as well is that they had some top stitching. So what you might want to do is, that's going to help you with the really narrow seams. That's going to basically reinforce it. And I think they might even have some tape underneath or something, depending on the
to
fabric.
support the seams. Yes. So you could. I think that's the sort. You need to decide your fabric and then decide how that's going to go.
Because if you work in a really fine jersey, it could be really beautiful. But you have to be careful it doesn't sag, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or in a wool, it would be lovely. Yes. So good luck with making it.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.